Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone. How are you guys? So today we are going to start lesson 5, which is adding and subtracting fractions. And thank you very much guys for watching and learning here. You guys are amazing, yeah? And you're the best. Let's begin. Okay. So adding and subtracting fractions. First we are going to start it with adding or subtracting like fractions. Remember we have done in our previous class. So what are the like fractions? So like fractions are the fractions which are having the same value in the denominator, right? Remember? Okay, so what are the steps? There are certain steps that we are going to follow in adding the like fractions, adding or subtracting the like fractions. So let's just start solving the question and we'll follow these steps. Okay, question is 2 over 3 plus 7 over 3. So first we have to make sure the fractions that are going to be added are like or not. So since they are having the same denominator, so they are the like fractions pair, right? So the steps for adding the like fraction is simple, which is the first step is write the denominator one time. What is the denominator? 3 is our denominator, so I'm going to write denominator one time 3. The next step is go for addition or subtraction. Since these two fractions are adding, so we simply add both of these two fractions, so which is 2 plus 7, right? Now in the next step we simply have to add the values in the numerator. 2 plus 7 will give us 9 over 3. Okay, now we have to see whether this fraction can further be simplified or not. So we have the denominator value 3. It means we have to look into the times table of 3 and see whether both of these two number comes in the times table of 3 or not. So yes, 3 times 3 will give us 9, and 1 times 3 is 3, right? Or simply 9 divided by 3 will give us 3. Or you can either write it 3 over 1, or you can simply write it 3. So both of these two are the correct representations of your final answer, right? Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, now pause the video, solve it by yourself, and then resume it to verify your answer, right? Okay, so question is 2 whole 3 over 4, take away 5 over 4. So first, now see, this is the mixed fraction, mixed type of a fraction, so which is non-standard form of a fraction. First we have to convert it into standard form. We cannot directly solve these two different types of fractions. So first I'm going to convert it. So remember the conversions. I'm going to write the denominator as it is. Now multiply these two numbers. So 2 times 4 will give me 8. 2 times 4 is 8, and plus 3, so this will give us 11 over 4. Now write down the second part of the equation as it is, down. Now see, since the denominators are same, this is like fraction. Follow the instructions, follow the steps. So write the denominator one time, go for addition or subtraction. Since they are subtracting, so simply take away these numbers. 11 minus 5, and the next is 11 take away 5 will give me 6 over 4. So can this be further simplified? Yes, this can be simplified on the times table of 4. No, this can be simplified on the times table of 2. So 3 times 2 will give me 6, and 2 times 2 will give me 4, right? Whenever we are going to simplify it, we have to look into the times table on which both of these two number comes in the answer, right? If we are looking for, let's suppose, 4, so 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, this can be simplified, but your numerator, which is 6 does not come in the times table of 4. 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8. So we cannot simplify this fraction on a times table of 4, right? And one more thing, keep practicing your times table. So this will be very helpful in your current grades, in your upcoming grades, in your higher classes. Okay, next question number 3. Okay, now we have 3 fractions and we have to add and subtract all of them, right? We can also solve them simultaneously, but I should recommend you to solve first 2 fractions and then move on to the third fraction. so then there will definitely be a less chances of error. First I'm going to convert these three fractions into the standard form. So since this is proper fraction, this is improper fraction, and this is mixed fraction. So mixed fraction is an improper non-standard form of a fraction. So let's just convert it into the standard form. So I'm going to write the equation as it is, except the last part of the equation. So convert it. So this will give me 1 times 5 is 5 plus 3, 8 over 5. Now we are going to solve the first two fractions first and then the third one later on. Since they are the like fractions, write the denominator one time. Add both of these two numbers in the numerator and write down the third fraction as it is. Okay, the next one is 4 plus 6 will give me 10 over 5 minus 8 over 5. Now see, we have successfully reduced, we started our question from the three fractions and we have successfully reduced to two fractions, right? Now we are going to solve these two fractions. So this is, write the denominator one time. Since this is like fraction, go for subtraction. So 10 minus 8. So I'm just following a step. I'm doing all the steps just to make sure that you know everything. You can solve, if you know the concept, you can solve it directly. So this will give me 10 take away 8 is 2 over 5. So this is our final answer. Right, I hope you have got the concept. Okay, moving on to the next. Now we are going to add or subtract the unlike fractions. Now the steps for adding or subtracting the unlike fraction is different. These are the steps. Okay, we'll follow these steps, and one thing, make sure that you should know these steps by heart verbally, right? Like while practicing, it's okay to look at these steps for first or two questions, but when you keep on solving the exercise, you should know it, and you should solve it without looking at these steps, right? Okay, question number 1. So let's just solve first question by looking at the steps. Now see, okay, since this is 2 over 4 plus 3 over 5, look at the denominators. So this is 4, this is 5. It means we are having the different denominators, right? So this is the unlike fraction. So how we are going to solve the unlike fraction? So your first step is, what is the first step? Make the denominator same by multiplying the denominators. So these are our denominators 4 and 5. Multiply them. So 4 times 5 is 20. Now the second step is cross multiply. So you simply have to cross multiply. You have to make a cross like this, right? So these two lines, this diagonal will give us 2 and 5. So multiply these numbers, 2 and 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Then put a sign. Okay, one more thing. Since 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, let's just put a sign first. Now the question is, where should I write this 10? 2 times 5 is 10. Either before the positive sign or after the positive sign. So see, whatever the numerator value you are choosing for multiplication, you have to write its product to that place value. Since this is the numerator we are going to multiply, so we have to write our answer 2 times 5 is 10 before the plus sign. Okay. Now the next one is, we have to multiply these two numbers. So 3 times 4 is 12. Since the 3 is after the plus sign, so we have to write the answer after the plus sign. Got it? Now we simply have to add these numbers. 10 plus 12 is 22. Over 20. Now we have to simplify our answer. So this can be simplified on what times tables? This can be simplified on a times table of 2. So this will give 11 times 2 is 22 and 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, our final answer is in the improper type of a fraction. We can also convert it into the mixed fraction. So 1 times 10 is 10 and remainder is 1. So our answer is 1 whole 1 over 10. Right? We have already learned the conversion from improper fraction to mixed fraction. So these both can be considered the correct answers, right? Either in the improper way or either in the mixed fraction. Okay. So this is the one way of solving the question. Let me just tell you another way of solving the question. But the steps will remain same. Okay. First we have to convert, these are the mixed fractions, convert it into standard form, either proper or improper. So this is the denominator, right denominator as it is, minus and 2. Now multiply these numbers. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 5 will give us 17. And 3 times 2 is, so it's become 17 over 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10 over 2. Right? Okay, now let's solve this question using another method. Maybe you find it more easier. Okay, now look at the denominators. So over here the denominator is 3, here the denominator is 2. So I am going to multiply my first fraction with 2, multiplied by 2 and divided by 2. How I came to know? I have to multiply with what number? Since the second denominator is 2, so I have to multiply the first fraction with 2, right? And now since my first denominator is 3, so this is 3, so times your second fraction by 3, right? Now so 17 times 2 is 34 and 3 times 2 is 6, minus 10 times 3 is 30 and 2 times 3 is 6. Now you simply, now it becomes the like fractions, so write 6 one time, go for subtraction. So 34 minus 30 will give me 4. Now we have to simply simplify this fraction, so this will give me 2 over 3. So this is my final answer, right? So this is the whole question. Okay, moving on to the third question, which is 5 whole. Okay, first we are going to convert it into the standard form of a fraction. So this will give me 5 over 4 and this will be 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2 6, 6 over 2 and minus 10 over 3. Okay, first we are going to solve these two fractions first. So these are the unlike fraction. Follow the steps. So make the denominator same. So 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 times 4 is 8. Now cross multiply. So 5 times 2 is 10. Put the sign first. 5 times 2 is 10. Since this 5 is before the plus sign, so I have to write my answer before the plus sign. 5 times 2 is 10 and 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, in case of addition, it will not affect your final answer, since 10 plus 24 or 24 plus 10 will give you the same thing. But when it comes to the subtraction thingy, your answers will be changed, right? So you have to be super careful. Now shift the next part of the equation as it is down. 10 plus 24 will give me 34 over 8. Take away 10 over 3. Now we have successfully reduced 3 fractions into 2 fractions, right? Now we have to solve this one, and we will reduce it further to single fraction. Okay, make the denominator same, so 8 times 3 is 24. Now cross multiply. First put the negative sign, so cross multiply 34 times 3. So 34, 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 carry 10, so 102. And this will give me 8 times 10 is 80. Now see, when I am going to take away 102 minus 80, my answer will be 22. But when I am going to take away 80, if I write 80 before and then 80 minus 102, my answer will be in the negative numbers. See, so this is the reason you have to be careful while writing your answers in the numerator. Got it? Okay, let me shift it down. Okay, now we have to solve further. Simply take away these numbers. 102 minus 80 is 22 over 24. Now we have to simplify these numbers. So this will become 11 times 2 is 22, and 12 times 2 is 24. So this is our final answer, right? I hope you have got the concept. Now you can solve how to add and subtract the like fraction, as well as how to add and subtract the unlike fractions. Okay, moving on to the next portion, which is adding fractions with the whole numbers. Okay, how we are going to solve these questions? So remember one thing I told you in the previous lesson, that this is your natural number, this is your whole number. But what is a value underneath this 3 if there is no value shown to you in the denominator? So by default this number will carry a number 1, right? So now see, so this whole number have successfully become a fraction. Now you can simply solve it. Now see, whether check this is a like fraction or unlike fraction. They are unlike. Follow the steps of unlike fraction. Step number 1, make the denominator same by multiplying them. So 1 times 7 is 7. Now cross multiply. So 1 times 4 is 4. Write 4 here. Then there is a positive sign. And 3 times 7 is, or 7 times 3 is 21. Now simply add these numbers. 21 plus 24, 21 plus 4 is 25 over 7. So it is up to you, either you want to leave your answer up till here, or you can further transform it into the mixed fraction. So if we go it for that way, our answer will be 1 times 7 is 7, 2 times 7 is 14, 3 times 7 is 21. So yes, 3 times 7 is 21, and the remainder we left with us is 4. So our answer is 3 whole 4 over 7, right? Or 25 over 7. Okay, next. Now how are you going to solve this question? So this is a whole number 6. The value at the bottom of this 6 is 1. So denominator is 1, always 1. Now these are the unlike fraction. Follow the steps. Multiply the denominators. So 1 times 2 is 2. Now cross multiply. So 1 times 3 is 3. Then there is a positive sign, plus 2 times 6 is 12. Now the next step is simply add these numbers. So 3 plus 12 is 15 over 2. So this is your answer in the improper fraction form. And in the mixed fraction form it will be, so start counting the times table of 2 up till 15 or less than 15. So 7 times 2 is 14. So 15 minus 14 is 1, and your divisor is 2. So it's 7 whole 1 over 2, or 7 whole 1 half. So this is our answer. You're getting the concept or not? This is easy, man. So if you're still not getting the concept and you find it difficult, then I must suggest you to practice it. Practice it more. Okay, moving on to the next question. So the number at the bottom over here is always 1. If there is no value at the bottom, or if there is no denominator, it is always 1 by default in mathematics. Okay, so these are like fractions or unlike? Yes, it is unlike. Excellent. So 1 times 16 is 16. Now what is the next step? The second step is you have to cross multiply. Fantastic. So multiply these two numbers. So 2 times 16 is 32. Now where should I write 32? Before the negative sign or after the negative sign? Fantastic. Before the negative sign. So 2 times 16 is 32. Now we have to multiply these two numbers. So 1 times 10 or 10 times 1 will give me 10. So 32 take away 10 will give me 22 over 16. Now we have to simplify these fractions. We have to check whether it can be further simplified or not. So yes, both of these two numbers are even numbers. It can be simplified on the times table of 2. So 11 times 2 is 22 and 8 times 2 is 16. Can it be further simplified? No. Okay, then transform, leave it up, leave your answer here, or you can further convert it into the mixed fraction. So when I'm going to convert it, my answer will become 1 whole 3 over 8. Okay, now I'm not telling you how I get this improper fraction to mixed fraction. You should be super master in this, right? Okay, so we are done. Yes, that's nice. Here comes to an end of our today's session. Stay blessed, be happy, keep smiling, and thank you once again guys for watching and learning here. Keep learning and stay safe out there. See you after.
Barrel waiting for the